We all love cooking for the end result, to eat. But taking a closer look at the science of cooking can make the entire process that much more fun. Karen Rubin, Executive Director at the Amelia Park Children's Museum, is here to show us the science of cooking jam.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, of course, thanks for being here and bringing me these cool glasses.
And they look very good on you.
Well, thank you. Well, let's get started with the jam.
Okay, well, most people go to the food store and will buy something like this.
Yes.
It's jam in a jar. Well, jam is very simple to make. I used to make jam when I was young, but we made vats of it. So it could be a little inundating if you just want to spend an hour making some jam. So you only need 3 very simple ingredients. The first one is berries.
Any berry you want?
Any berry you want. You could do raspberries, blueberries, mixed berries, strawberries, at least 4 cups of berries.
Okay.
And you wash, whole, and slice them.
That's easy
You
enough.
also need 1 cup of sugar. I like to use the superfine sugar. It just dissolves a little easier, but you can also use regular table sugar, which is fine. And then the secret, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice.
Why is that the secret?
Well,
what does it do?
What we're doing is we're releasing the pectin from the fruits, and lemons are very citrusy, and you need some citric acid to help bind the pectins and the sugars together to make that gelling of the jam, which is what happens in the jar.
Okay.
Now, some people will go to the store and will buy pectin, but you don't need to spend any extra money on this.
Because the fruit has it in there.
The fruit has it in there, and as you cook, it breaks it down. So.
And so the pectin is kind of what gives it that texture.
Yes, and pectin acts as a thickener. So sometimes people will use pectin to thicken cobblers or other types of jams. Jelly, you have to use a pectin because you're using fruit juice.
Oh.
Jellies don't have real fruit in them. And then the opposite end are preserves, where you put the whole fruit in, trying to preserve the fruit. So the jam is kind of a combination of both.
Okay, so the jelly needs it, the jam doesn't.
Correct.
Okay, that was a little confusing for me.
Well, some people go to the food store and they're not sure if they should buy a jelly or a jam. If you want the fruit taste, you're going to want a jam.
Okay, good to know.
And then you cook it for anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes.
All right, just sitting it on the stove?
Sitting it on the stove, and then you let it do a full rolling boil. And this was a whole pot filled with fruits and vegetables, and I will scoop some out.
Okay, it looks great. It has that beautiful jam color.
Yes, and this is a combination of strawberries and blueberries.
Ooh, a mixed jam.
Yes, because a mixed berry jam is truly delicious.
Oh, that's more fun when you mix them.
Now, I have little jars here, but you don't have to use little canning jars. You can use a little Tupperware container. You can use a glass bowl.
And how long is it going to last?
This will last 2 weeks in the refrigerator.
Okay.
And what you do is, if you use a little jar, you put the lid on, make sure they're clean, and you seal it, and you let them sit for 24 hours.
Oh.
And as it cools, it will seal itself in, preserving it, and then that will last in the refrigerator for about 2 to 3 weeks, or in the freezer for 3 months.
Oh, well, there you go. What if you have, you said that you could use Tupperware. Do you let that sit for 24 hours
Exactly. You let that sit on the counter for 24 hours because it will gel. Because that pectin is going to cool and then start thickening. And as you can see here, this was jam I already made.
It's beautiful.
So it's pure strawberries, if you'd like to try one.
Oh, would I ever?
And I just put it on a plain cracker so you can really get the flavor.
It's so yummy. The strawberries are so fresh.
They're from the farm. That's down the road for me. And the nice thing about making your own jam is you can regulate the sugar.
And that's always
A lot of recipes call for, 2 or 3 cups of sugar. I use just under 1 cup.
Okay.
And all the flavors come out. And you can also add things like a vanilla bean if you wanted to have a strawberry vanilla jam.
Well, there you go. That sounds great.
Some people add Grand Marnier or amaretto. So
Oh, that's getting fancy.
So there's lots of things. And some people use jams as desserts too, on top of ice cream or yogurts.
Well, there you go. Well, thank you for stopping by and teaching us the science of jam. We appreciate it.